Russian drones struck a port in Ukraine's Odesa region today. No casualties have been reported. Several buildings were damaged in the strike. The port is located on the Danube River and is a vital point for Ukraine's grain exports. Poland rushed battalions of troops to its eastern border with Belarus on Tuesday. Poland also accused Belarus of violating its airspace. Meanwhile, the Belarusian military denied Poland's accusations. Instead, Minsk accused Warsaw of a quote-unquote dangerous troop build-up near the border. The Prime Ministers of Armenia and Azerbaijan said peace was possible despite their differences. The leaders said that they were hopeful of a resolution regarding the disputed Nagorno-Karabakh region. The two sides have been discussing options for a peace deal to settle differences regarding the enclave. Niger's army announced that it had reopened land and air borders with 5 nations. These included Algeria, Burkina Faso, Mali, Libya and Chad. This comes after Burkina Faso and Mali voiced their support for the military leadership in coup-hit Niger. Meanwhile, several institutions have imposed sanctions on Niger's army for overthrowing the president. Tunisian President Kais Saied sacked Prime Minister Najla Bouden earlier today. Bouden has been replaced by Ahmed Hachani, who will now lead the North African nation. No explanation was given for Bouden's sacking. She was appointed as the Prime Minister in October 2021. Bouden was Tunisia's first woman Prime Minister. At least 5 Israelis were wounded in a gun attack outside a shopping mall in West Bank yesterday. After that, the Palestinian attacker was killed by security forces. Medical officials say one of the wounded is in a critical condition. Israeli police officials are investigating the motive behind the attack. Over 800 people gathered for group workouts in Yemen's capital Sana'a. They were participating in an initiative called the Best Team. The initiative is aimed at giving people an outlet to take their minds away from problems caused by the conflict in Yemen. The founders of the group do not charge any fees. They say that everyone is welcome to the group workouts. Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif said his country was ready to hold talks with India. Sharif said, and I quote, "War between the two nations is not an option." He also said that Pakistan was willing to discuss serious issues regarding security in the region. India's Ministry of External Affairs is yet to respond to the comments made by Pakistan's Prime Minister. Communal violence erupted near India's national capital New Delhi on Tuesday. At least 6 people were killed due to the violence. Over 100 people have been arrested so far. 14 shops were torched in the city of Gurugram. Police officials have imposed a curfew in the region. Schools and offices have been ordered to shut down. Gurugram, also known as Gurgaon, is a part of India's National Capital Region or NCR. Thailand's Pheu Thai party has nominated Cheetah for the next prime ministerial vote in the parliament. The party has also moved away from its alliance with the Move Forward party. This comes amid a political deadlock to approve Thailand's next prime minister. Pheu Thai's Thavisin is a real estate tycoon and a multi-millionaire. The Thai parliament will next vote on the next prime minister on the 4th of August. Former US President Donald Trump was indicted for allegedly attempting to overturn the 2020 elections. This was on Tuesday. A US federal court has ordered Trump to appear for his trial on Thursday. This is the 3rd indictment against Trump since March 2023. However, Trump continues to campaign for the 2024 presidential race despite his indictments. Moving to climate, Typhoon Khanun tore down billboards and blew cars off their wheels in Japan's Okinawa prefecture. All flights at Naha Airport in Okinawa's capital have been cancelled. Meanwhile, more than 200,000 households are experiencing power outages due to the storm. In Beijing, emergency personnel evacuated residents trapped by gushing floodwaters in multiple districts. This is after Typhoon Doksuri brought heavy floods and destruction to various parts of China. Beijing's fire department warned residents to avoid low-lying areas as much as possible due to the recent increase in rainfall. Meanwhile, police helicopters also dropped emergency supplies to residents who were trapped in flooded areas. The city of Venice in Italy was inundated by a high tide late on Tuesday. This has left its famed St. Mark's Square partially flooded. The high water levels peaked at 100 centimeters. This comes as the UN cultural body UNESCO has recommended adding Venice to its list of World Heritage in danger. Another cheetah has been found dead at Kanon National Park in India's Madhya Pradesh. This is the third cheetah to have died within 1 month and the ninth since March this year. Officials at India's National Tiger Conservation Authority continue to attribute these deaths to natural causes. However, wildlife experts from South Africa and Namibia claim otherwise. They say all the cheetahs were healthy when brought from Africa last year. Experts blame the recent deaths on infections caused by radio collars. A brief but heavy downpour has helped firefighters battle a massive blaze in California and Nevada in the US. However, meteorologists have warned that sudden and erratic wind shifts could endanger the firefighters later on. An official said that if the storms miss the flames entirely, crews could face unstable wind conditions. They could risk having the fire blown back at them. Extreme heat has hit North Africa with wildfires blazing across the region. Out of all North African countries, extreme weather episodes have affected Algeria the most so far. The summer wildfires in the region reached 16 states when 94 areas caught fire simultaneously. An Algerian environmentalist has said the main driver behind these fires is climate change. A decade of war, climate change, and recent heat waves have severely impacted Syria's agricultural production. Farmers suffer from a lack of water and a sporadic electricity supply. Regular access to both these things are necessary for the upkeep of agricultural lands. Farmers now plan to stop growing vegetables and plant only olive trees, which do not need a lot of water. In Spain's Catalonia region, vineyards are becoming more parched at renowned Cava wine producing regions. Red and green grapes are shriveling up as a result of the country's long intense drought. Makers of Cava wine expect extreme weather conditions to further intensify. The Cava sector believes it could lose up to 55% of its grapes compared to a relatively normal harvest. Hundreds of indigenous people demonstrated in Argentina's capital, Buenos Aires. They were protesting against lithium mining in their territories. Protesters marched to defend their rights over their territories and the resources within them. The protest stressed on the native people's opposition to lithium exploitation as it can cause irreversible damage to the environment. Moving to business, according to reports, British chip designer ARM is targeting an initial public offering at a valuation of $60 to $70 billion. Earlier, reports had said that the IPO could come as soon as this September. In April, the chip designer confidentially filed for a US stock market listing with the regulators. Reports say SoftBank-owned ARM could be setting the stage for the largest IPO of this year. Rating agency Fitch has downgraded America's credit rating from a AAA to a AA+. Fitch is one of the three major independent agencies that assess the creditworthiness of countries and institutions. Its move outlines concerns over the country's finances and its debt burden. Fitch said it had noted a steady deterioration in the country's governance over the last 20 years. However, US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has called the downgrade arbitrary. The US public safety regulator has said that the country will ban goods from two China-based companies. The suspension targets Chinese battery manufacturer Camel Group and a spice manufacturer Chengguang Biotech Group. The US says this is to promote accountability for the crimes against the Uyghurs and other ethnic minorities in China's Xinjiang region. A US congressional committee on China is investigating asset management giant BlackRock and index provider Msci. This is for allegedly facilitating investments into blacklisted Chinese companies. The committee says this makes BlackRock and Msci guilty of fueling China's military advancement or human rights abuses. While BlackRock has denied any wrongdoing, Msci has said it is reviewing the inquiry. US auto safety regulators have opened an investigation into 280,000 new Tesla vehicles. This covers vehicles including Tesla's Model 3 and Model Y. The probe comes over reports of a loss of steering control in the cars. The US Traffic Safety Administration opened a preliminary evaluation after it received 12 complaints. One of the complainants said that the car steering felt stuck, causing the vehicle to slide off the road and crash into a tree. The UK has approved the construction of the country's first large-scale lithium refinery. This will be used to produce electric car batteries. The project will be run by Britain's Green Lithium. The program claims to power the electric revolution in the country. It also aims to reduce UK's dependence on China and East Asia for the raw material. World Bank President Ajay Banga visited Ethiopia on Tuesday. This is his first visit to Africa since taking office last month. Banga also met Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed during his visit. The World Bank said that the visit was part of an ongoing tour aimed at revitalizing its development mission. In a first for Britain, drone mail delivery services have started on a Scottish island chain. Royal Mail has launched a distribution service between a number of islands in the Northern Isles region. It will deliver packages and letters. The service will initially start off as a 3-month trial but may be continued permanently. The delivery system is expected to drastically improve the Royal Mail service on the islands. X, formerly known as Twitter, has sued the non-profit organization Center for Countering Digital Hate. It has accused the organization of making false claims against the social media firm. This was after the non-profit organization published a report alleging an increase in hate speech towards minority communities, on the platform. X says that the reports lacked factual evidence and encouraged advertisers to pause investments. Meta Platforms will now ask its European users for a permission before allowing targeted advertisements. The Facebook parent company says that the change aims to address a number of upcoming regulatory requirements in the region. This also follows a ruling by Ireland's Data Protection Commissioner. The Irish watchdog has asked Meta to prove that how its target ads is legal. Moving to sports, in cricket, India beat the West Indies by 200 runs in the third one-day international. Visitors India batted first and scored 351 runs in their innings. India's Shubman Gill scored 85 runs in 92 balls. The West Indies had no answer to India's pace attack. They were bowled out for just 151 runs in 35 overs. India won the 3-match ODI series 2-1. The International Cricket Council, or the ICC, has rescheduled the World Cup match between India and Pakistan. The two rivals will now play against each other on the 14th of October. The match will be played in India's Ahmedabad city. Earlier, the match was slated for the 15th of October. However, it clashed with an Indian festival and the ICC rescheduled the match due to security concerns. In football, South Africa beat Italy 3-2 in a thriller today. Italy scored first in the 11th minute. South Africa came back with 2 goals. Then the Italian side equalized in the 74th minute. Then the game went into overtime. South Africa sneaked in a goal 2 minutes into injury time to steal the victory. They have now advanced to the knockout stage. Sweden cruised past Argentina 2-0 at the World Cup. The first half of the match was scoreless. In the second half, Sweden scored their first goal in the 66th minute. Just before injury time, Argentina conceded a penalty. Ellen Rubinson scored the winner for Sweden. Sweden is now through to the knockout stage. Barcelona beat AC Milan 1-0 in a pre-season friendly match today. The match was played in the US city of Las Vegas. Forward Ansu Fati scored for his La Liga club in the 55th minute. Barcelona have now completed their pre-season tour of the US. They leave American soil with 2 wins and 1 defeat. Meanwhile, Barcelona forward Ousmane Lembele is leaving the club. The Frenchman made the announcement after Barcelona beat AC Milan earlier today. Lembele has confirmed that he will join French club PSG. The transfer is likely to be completed in a few days. However, Barcelona coach Xavi Hernandez said he was disappointed with Dembele's decision. Bayern Munich forward Sadio Mane is leaving the German club. The striker from Senegal is now joining the Saudi Pro League. He will play alongside Cristiano Ronaldo at the club Al Nassr. The financial details of the contract have not been disclosed. As per reports, Mane is joining the Saudi club for a paycheck of almost $44 million per year. In badminton, India's PV Sindhu advanced at the Australia Open. The tournament is being played in Sydney. Sindhu beat her fellow Indian opponent Ashmita Chaliha 21-18 and 21-13. She will now face another Indian, Akarshi Kashyap, on Thursday. Meanwhile, Indian shuttler Shrikant Kidambi also won at the Australia Open. He beat Japan's Kenta Nishimoto 21-8 and 21-7. With the win, Kidambi Shrikant has now entered the round of 16. He will next play against Chinese Taipei's Su Liang on Thursday. In golf, Tiger Woods has agreed to join the PGA Tour's policy board. 15-time world champion Woods will now become the 6th player director. The policy board was formed after the PGA Tour merged with Saudi-backed Live Golf. The move is meant to provide transparency to golf players for future decisions. Other prominent golfers like Rory McIlroy and Webb Simpson are also on the board. Moving to entertainment, Warner Brothers in the US have issued a public apology for Barbenheimer memes after criticism from Japan. The company said Warner Brothers regrets its recent insensitive social media engagement. The studio offers a sincere apology. Barbenheimer marketing proved to be a successful strategy for both movies, that's Barbie and Oppenheimer. These 2 movies released on the same day. However, it drew criticism from Japan for downplaying the seriousness of the mass destruction caused by the atomic bombs. US President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden recently watched Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. Biden said that the movie was compelling. The movie follows the journey of J. Robert Oppenheimer, who is the father of the atomic bomb. He created the 2 nuclear bombs that the US dropped on Japan's Hiroshima and Nagasaki in the year 1945. Canadian actor Stephen Amell has landed in trouble after he said that he does not support the actors' strike. In a damage control move, the actor posted a long message on his Instagram. He said that he is providing context to ensure that his feelings are not misinterpreted. Amell added that he stands with the union SAG-AFTRA, although he does not like striking. Hollywood studios are hoping to return to the negotiating table with striking writers as the protest approaches its 100th day. The Writers Guild of America said that the Alliance of Motion Pictures and Television Producers reached out to them. They've asked to hold a meeting on Friday. The WGA represents striking writers, while the AMPTP represents most Hollywood studios. This includes NBC Universal, Paramount, Netflix, Disney, and Amazon. For 3 months now, writers have been demanding better pay and regulations for the use of artificial intelligence in Hollywood. The New York City's Council's Committee on Civil Service and Labor has passed a new resolution. The resolution is in support of a fair contract for Hollywood writers and actors who are on strike. SAG-AFTRA, which is the union that is representing striking actors, told the committee that members want the same things for their children that the CEOs making large fortunes want for theirs. The council member said, and I quote, "As inflation soars, it is important that our workforce can sustain a life of dignity in our city." Singer Taylor Swift has given a $55 million in bonuses to her crew working on the Eras tour, which includes everyone from backup dancers and sound technicians to caterers and production staff. Swift has also given $100,000 extra each to truck drivers. The singer is all set to wrap up her Eras tour in the United States. K-pop girl band BlackPink has created history yet again. A 2018 music video of theirs has surpassed 2.1 billion views on YouTube. It has become the first ever K-pop video to reach the milestone. 5 years ago, the song crossed 36 million views within 24 hours of being released. The American singer Lizzo has been accused of sexual harassment and creating a hostile work environment. 3 of the singer's former backup dancers have leveled these accusations. Lizzo has allegedly subjected the dancers to quote-unquote excruciating auditions after falsely accusing them of drinking on the job. Lizzo is famous for promoting body positivity. However, she has been accused of calling attention to a dancer's weight. As per reports, actor Kevin Spacey might be returning to the big screen sooner than expected. His movie Control is eyeing a theatrical release in December this year. This news comes just days after Spacey was cleared of 9 charges related to sexual misconduct. These charges involved 4 men in the UK. And finally, tributes are pouring in for late actor Angus Cloud. Actors Zendaya and Sydney Sweeney posted heartfelt messages on social media. Zendaya said, "Words are not enough to describe the infinite beauty that is Angus." Sweeney shared pictures of her memorable moments with the late actor. She said Angus was an open soul with the kindest heart. 25-year-old Angus Cloud is famous for his role in the HBO series Euphoria.